live right now. Okay. Post this here. Okay. Okay, hello everyone. How you guys doing? Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Okay. Okay. Play. Okay. Here we go. Hello everyone. Anyone need help selling anything, to send me an invite. Remember when you said you were going to add me? I did actually try to add you, Skippity Pickle, but whenever I typed your name in on PlayStation, nothing came up. And, I actually went on your, YouTube channel and I left a comment on your video, which I told you I couldn't, find your name. And instead send me a message. But I tried to, it just, your name just wasn't appearing online when I searched it in. Okay, let's see here, let's help Matt. Hey Pro, you still want to do the diamond heist? I'll be home in a few minutes. I just got off work, boy. I do have a retail story for my friend. Sure. But that's the problem with the PlayStation search sometimes, is you'll type somebody's name in on PlayStation search and it won't even come up. Okay. 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 Okay, here we go. Hey professional, much love from Australia. Never got the chance to say hi, so here I am. Thanks for all the content you give us. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for the super chat.
We sell.
Okay, Mackenzie fielding after a helicopter. Can we get over there? Here we go. But Skippity, just check the comments on your YouTube video, and you'll see I commented on there. Yes, I can help you sell later, WRB. Okay. Okay, 1.5 miles, okay. Have you ever played choice-based games such as Destroy, Become Human, Telltale, Heavy Rain? Yes, I've actually played a few of those. I played Season 1 and 2 of The Walking Dead, and I played, Heavy Rain. I have played that one. I played Until Dawn, and I played, a lot of the Dark Pictures games. I played those too. Best YouTuber. Thank you, man. Okay, I'll respond to you after the stream, Skippity, because I can't respond to messages on stream, but I will after the stream. Okay, let's, okay, we'll go to the power station. Will I do a playthrough of the Just Cause games? I played Just Cause 4, but I could do a playthrough of them again one day. Yeah, but I wanted to stream, I wanted to stream earlier today because I wanted to work on Kane and Lynch right after the stream, and so I wanted to still put out a Kane and Lynch part later today before it gets too late, and so that's why I decided to start streaming earlier today. Sure, Brandon, you don't have to ask me that. You don't have to ask me if you can join my session. If you can join my session, join my session. Leaving Lynch by himself without his schizophrenia medication is like triggering Trevor about his mother or his Canadian accent, but much worse. Yeah. Well, so, for you guys who have watched my Kane and Lynch playthrough so far, don't you guys think there's a lot of similarities between that and GTA 5? Like, do you guys, like, between Kane and Lynch and, like, Michael and Trevor? And, like, Kane is the one with the family, Kane is the more stable, you know, bank robber, and, like, Lynch is, like, just the most psycho. But I feel like, you know, Trevor and Michael were inspired by them. Thank you, Mr. Weifu. What's the worst, what's worse, working retail or fast food? It's a tough one. I would say working fast food is probably worse than retail. And the reason is because in fast food, you'll have dumb customers that will complain about stupid things, like they'll say, oh, my food's too cold when it's the right temperature, my food's too hot. You know, they'll constantly want refunds, they'll pull scams, they're like, oh, I want free food, and they'll constantly do something just to get free food. I can imagine that in fast food, customers would complain about dumb things. Just hearing all the stupid things that I heard in retail, I can imagine the dumb things that customers would say in, yeah, I can imagine the dumb things customers would say in the food industry. Yeah, I might play the Yakuza games one day. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It does depend, though, on the situation. I don't understand why HR doesn't, or corporate doesn't do anything about terrible customers, because HR is just there to cover the company. HR is not your friend, just know that. When you're at any job, HR is not your friend. HR is just there just to cover for the company. That's pretty much what they're there for. But, you know how stupid, like, do you know how stupid, like, retail companies are? They're so stupid. They just, when it comes to just the customers, I love the content pro, keep it awesome work, thank you, Hilario. I've seen customers that are scammers, and retail companies still try their best to just suck up to them. Basically, I'll tell you guys something. There was, like, at one point when I was, like, close to being done, you know, this is like, maybe a few months before I quit, but basically what happened was when I worked in retail, there was this one customer who, he would go into, like, the aisle where all the candy was, and he would just take, like, a random chocolate bar. There was no cameras in that aisle, which I'm assuming he knew about that, so he would just take a random chocolate bar from the candy aisle, he would eat half of it, and then he just stuffed the rest of the chocolate bar just somewhere randomly in the store, like, randomly in, like, a shelf. He would just constantly do that. And what happened was I had to probably clean up like 20 or 30 chocolate bars, constantly get gloves, constantly clean it out. It was just disgusting. I had to do it multiple times. And what happened was the guy who did it was finally caught. Like, finally he was caught. And what happened was my manager told him that he was banned from the store. And he tried to give him like $200 so that he wasn't banned from the store. And my manager told him that he's still banned from the store. And then like a month later, the guy just came back to the store anyways and was just like shopping around. And I told my manager, isn't he banned from the store? Can you call the police? And the manager's like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to offend the customer. We don't want the customer to like complain to corporate. And I'm like, but he's stealing. He's constantly stealing. This is not a customer. A customer is somebody who comes in and buys stuff. A customer is not a thief. So the second that somebody's stealing stuff, they're not a customer anymore. They're a thief. And so that's the dumbest thing that I heard about. Oh yeah, you know, we don't want him to complain. You know, he might call corporate. He's stealing. So who cares if he calls corporate? That's how stupid these companies are. I'll tell you, it's so stupid. It's even somebody who's ripping off your store. You don't want to lose their customer service. That's how stupid it is. So it's just. would you do a video again similar to your mental health one? Yeah, I will. Thank you, Ant, and thank you, Hilario. But when I do another one, I'll do it on the what is it? I'll do it on probably maybe working in retail one day. I'll do it on that. But some retail companies are too cheap to hire. Yes, they are. Have you heard of Gas Station Encounters Today YouTube channel? I'll tell you though that working at like a gas station or like, you know, any kind of like retail place late at night can be actually really scary. Really scary, because it's like nobody's in the store and you don't know who's gonna come in at that hour. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. Yeah, but you know, the thing about these companies is, I'll tell you something. Do you know what I always found so ridiculous about retail? You know what I find so ridiculous about it? That these companies go to such great lengths to just keep these customers happy. Even when these customers are like pulling some kind of scam or doing something stupid, these companies will still go to great lengths to like please these customers. And so these companies will like lose hundreds of thousands of dollars on just one customer alone. So they'll lose like hundreds of thousands of dollars on dumb customers just to appease these customers. But they're willing to basically give these customers whatever they want, the dumbest things ever. When they just complain, oh, just give them whatever deal they want. But then when it comes to actually paying their workers or actually like hiring more people, they're so cheap. So when it comes to the dumb customers, they'll give them whatever they want. But then when it comes to actually their employees and actually paying their employees a decent wage, nope, that's too much. And that's what I'll say about these companies is, you know what I basically, I knew that corporate greed was like bad, but when I started working in retail, I didn't fully understand it until I experienced it, and I firsthand saw just how bad corporate greed was. And my first week of working in retail, this is like, you know, 10 years ago, I realized just how bad the corporate greed was. And it was that what happened was I was on the cash register, and I was trained as a cashier. This one girl that I worked with tried her best to train me. She showed me how to use the cash register a lot, but she didn't train me on everything. And I had to end up learning how to do a lot of stuff on my own. I actually had to learn how to do returns on my own. Nobody taught me how to do returns. I actually had to experiment with the cash register, the different buttons, and just figure out how to do returns on my own. But basically, what happened is one day I was working on the cash register, and there was like a massive line. Like, it was this line after line after line. I was the only cashier in the whole store. The only guy. And I was new, too. So you'd think that you'd have like an extra person to back you up or help you. Nope. You know, first week starting, never used a cash register before, and I'm the only person there, and lines building up after line after line. And it got ridiculous because I was expected to also stock the front aisles. So I had to go out of the cash register, go to the front aisles, and just stock them, and then run back. And then there was a customer already there, and then I had to bring that customer up, then I'd have to run back to the aisle, stock a bunch of things in the aisle, and then run back when there's a customer, and just have to do that back and forth. It was getting really annoying. And I remember one of my coworkers, he comes up with a vacuum, and he's like, here. And I say to him, like, are you gonna do the cash register while I vacuum? And he just says to me, no, you're gonna vacuum and you're gonna ring. And I'm like, what? So now you expect me to like literally to run around, stock the front aisles, and vacuum, and then literally ring at the same time. So it was so annoying. It was so ridiculous. Like I vacuumed for like 30 seconds. For like 30 seconds, a customer shows up. I turn off the vacuum, go around, go back to the register, go to the vacuum, turn it on for 5 seconds, and our customer's there, and then go back. Wouldn't it make much more sense if you just have one guy in the cashier and just have another guy just vacuum? And wouldn't that just make it just much more simple? But no, it's just these companies, like I said, they're so cheap. They don't want to hire more people, and they basically, the way these companies think, they basically think, you know, why should we hire 2 or 3 people when we can just have one guy do the job of 3 people? That's basically their attitude, and that's how disgusting and ridiculous this is. And so, yeah, I have a lot of respect for people that work in retail. I'm a very patient person, but like I have no respect for these CEOs and these these corporate scumbags. Maybe the only company that I have some respect for is Costco, because Costco, they don't pull a lot of that stuff that a lot of other retail companies do. They're more fair to their workers, but most other, like I'd say 90% of like retail companies are just scum. Like 90% of them, they just pay their workers barely above minimum wage, and they expect their workers to just go above and beyond and just run around like crazy. Just ridiculous and just disgusting. I know, I never understood this personally. I never understood how how can you pay somebody a little bit over minimum wage and you expect like 5-star customer service? I never understood that. Like, how can you expect 5-star customer service if you're gonna pay somebody a little bit over minimum wage? That's yeah.
Holy shit!
Okay. See here. Do you think a doorbell camera is worth investing? Yeah, I would say so. I would say a doorbell camera. I don't have one personally, but I would say, yeah, I would say it would be good. There are also, like, there are alarms that you can buy on, like, Amazon, where you don't even need to buy any fancy security system. There are certain alarms that you can literally buy, and you can put it on your door. And so the second that somebody, like, you know, burglar, God forbid, kicks in your door, the alarm will just be ringing like crazy. Like, it'll be a really loud sound. It'll pretty much scare any robber away, and they'll run away because then the police are gonna come soon. So while there are alarms that aren't connected to the police, they're very loud when they, you know, when somebody would break down your door. And so that's like an alternative solution to also have on there. It's 7 a.m. in Australia, and I pulled an all-nighter, so I'm gonna hop in bed and fall asleep watching your stream. Thanks for streaming. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for the super chat. Well, look, Hunter, there are certain stores that aren't as bad as others, but I would say, in my personal experience, and from the horror stories that I've heard, like 90% of retail companies suck. Like, there's very few retail companies that treat their workers decently, and there are some, sure. Like, I just listed Costco before. But most of the retail companies treat their workers like garbage. Most of them do. Maybe I'll do Advanced Warfare one day, I'll see. Oh, can you guys believe I've been driving this entire time with one hand, by the way? Okay, let's see here. I've been told to quit pursuing higher education. Well, don't listen to people. Always do what you want to do. Well, look, Sketch, what I'll tell you about it is that retail is an okay job to have as your first job because it helps you build experience. But I'll tell you, though, whatever you do, and I'm giving this advice to everyone, don't stay in retail for years. Maybe stay in retail for like 1 or 2 years at max. Don't do more than that. Don't do more. Because it's just not worth it at that point. It's like a job to, like, you know, help you pay some, you know, if you're going to college or something like that, or even if you're not going to college, if you're still living with your family, it's some extra spending money that you might have that will, like, help you out. But it's not a good place to stay in for the long term. And I'll tell you something. These retail companies, there's something I call the promotion scam. That's what I call it because I consider it a scam. But basically, the scary thing about it is that in retail, it's actually possible to move up really quickly. So in a year, you could probably become a supervisor, possibly even less than that, in retail, in most places. And the thing about this is, retail companies will do this all the time. They'll go up to you and they'll say to you, hey, do you want a promotion? We'll promote you to supervisor. And so most people just do that because they just think, oh, I'm getting a promotion, I'll get more pay. But what they don't think about is they don't think about the extra responsibility that they're gonna get. Because the thing about this is, I worked at my job in retail for 6 years. And when I worked in there for 6 years, I regretted that I spent there that long. But when I worked there for that long, they tried to promote me to supervisor several times. Several times over the years, they tried to promote me to supervisor, and every single time I was rejected. I would say no. Why? The reason I would say no is because they were offering basically like $1.25 more an hour. And for that extra $1.25 an hour, I was responsible for opening and closing the store. I was responsible for running the entire store when the manager would not be there. I was responsible for counting the money. I was responsible for getting the deposits. I was responsible for dealing directly with customer complaints. I had to talk to corporate on the phone, you know, and I was responsible for also managing truck deliveries. So doing all of that all of that, and there's even more. There's also when stuff gets discontinued, I'm responsible for that. I'm responsible for price changes as well. So all of that versus being a cashier, and all of that extra stuff for just $1.25. No, screw that. I'm not doing all that extra stuff for like $1.25. No. I'm not doing it. It's not about being lazy. It's about the fact that why do I have to get like twice or triple the amount of work for like an extra $1 or $1.25? That's not worth it. I consider that a scam. That's why I say it's a scam. And so that's like that's why I say is watch out, because these companies in retail try to promote you really quickly, and they'll give you they'll give you like $1.25 an hour extra, and they'll expect you to do literally twice or triple the amount of work. It's a scam. And that's why I say don't take the promotion in most retail places. I would only take the promotion if it's like a $5 or $6 raise at that point. If it's like you're gonna pay me $5 or $6 more an hour, then okay, maybe I'll consider the promotion. But I'm not gonna do triple the amount of work for like an extra $1.25. I'm not doing that. So that's what I'll say about it. That's what I call it, the promotion scam in retail. Is like, you know, you gotta watch out for that. Companies will try to pull that on you. And so, like the most miserable people that I've seen in retail, the most miserable people aren't even the cashiers, it's the supervisors. Those are most of the time the most miserable people that I've seen. So that's what I'll say. Is just be careful for that, because they'll do that to you. Sponsoring your channel is the best decision I made. Thanks for all the great content, telling history and your life experiences. Love from the Philippines. Thank you, Jonathan Perez. Thanks, man. Oh, ow. This place to crash too. I'm gonna call Lester here too, get that phone ready.
Hi. What service are you looking for?
Almost completed the permadeath 100% in GTA 3. Died on Sam after completing 92% of the game. Oh. Yeah, Sam was... I remember that mission, the horrible thing about that mission. There is actually a trick to complete Sam, though. You'd have to go in the subway. That's what you would have to do. There's an easier way to go about that, though. I'm sure you know about that, scientist. I used to work in a warehouse where I was yelled at constantly and overworked, 10-15 an hour. Now I work in IT and 80,000 with no college degree. I'm happy for you, Eddie. That's much better. I'm happy for you. Yeah, you see, like I said, you can't expect to pay somebody a little bit over minimum wage and then expect 5-star service. You can't do that. Thanks for the professionalism. Thank you, Acid Snake. I'm interested in the 40-hour schedule. What do you mean? I mean working 4 days, 40 hours? Would that be 10 hours a day? I don't know. I don't know if I'd... I mean, a 4-day week probably would be good, yeah. I just don't know about 10 hours. But if they're giving you good breaks, then I take the 10 hours, yeah. I finished GTA 4 again, but Xbox Series X deal ending on my
hello?
God, you know that Dimitri said he was running on Liberty Statue. I laughed when I heard Roman was dead. Wow, this guy's an evil monster. Yeah, Dimitri is the most evil, you know, character of most evil GTA character of all time.
Oh, hey. You're in trouble. Okay. I'll deal with it.
I did one short. I want to do another one. My day's good.
Oh my god. Every time.
They took away your brother's commission on sales. Yeah, you would, you know, you'd think that like in retail they would give you a commission on things that you would help sell, but they don't. You know, you think that they'll encourage their employees to try to sell more stuff, but. I think that I think commission is generally like a good way to motivate employees, because if an employee knows they're going to be making like money on like a you know, helping to recommend the product, they're more willing to recommend products in like a store. But like, you know, I don't know any retail companies that do that. You know that most retail companies won't even let their employees take tips. Do you know that? So that's the thing about that, is that they pay you barely a little bit above minimum wage, and they won't even let you take tips. If you take a tip, you're gonna get fired. That's basically what's gonna happen. So I was offered tips a bunch of times, you know, for helping customers with certain things like the photo machine. I refuse to take the tip because I was scared about getting fired. For the last few months, I would just take the tips when people offered them to me. I just didn't care anymore at that point. It was just, yeah, it was just ridiculous. So even when and the thing about this is when customers would ask, you know, can you help me take this to my car? You know, you do that for them, and they would try to give you tips like a lot of times, but you would say you weren't allowed to take it. But I started taking the tips near the last few months that I was working, because I just didn't care anymore at that point. Okay, 0.20 miles. Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you, Ian, for the super chat. Hey, Pro, how are you, man? You helped my mental health. Well, thank you, Gorgo. I'm glad I helped you out. You don't have to apologize. Isaiah, what's the worst clickbait in YouTube GTA 6? Why aren't you allowed to? Because the companies want it to seem like the companies want it to seem like the workers are just doing it out of the kindness of their hearts when they're helping like you know, people. And so I'm assuming that's why they don't want customers to feel like they have to give a tip, I guess. So that's probably why they don't want you know, you to take tips. You're gonna get fired for it, which is just you know, stupid. I like the suit, thank you. Have I encountered a Karen while in retail? Oh, several times, yeah. Multiple times I've seen it happen. You know, there is this, I hope GTA 6 comes out like, childlike GTA, I hope GTA 6 comes out like, wait, what do you mean, Agent? I'm confused, but thank you for the super chat. What I will, about the Karens. So I've seen Karens in retail before. Great. I've seen Karens in retail before, and remember one time I met this woman that was a Karen, and basically what happened was she wanted me to go down to the stock room and bring up like those Ensure protein shakes. And when I say the Ensure protein shakes, I'm talking about like the big boxes. I think those are 24 or 36 packs. And so she wanted like 3 or 4 of them. And what happened was the belt, the conveyor belt that we would send stuff, you know, to the stock room downstairs was full. And so I went to the stock room, got like 3 or 4 boxes that went up a flight of stairs. I just went up the flight of stairs, and I brought it over to her across the store, and I literally felt like my back was gonna break. And so I carried all these heavy boxes up the stairs, brought it across the store, felt like my back was gonna break, put it on the counter, and you know what she says? She says, "Oh, they're not on sale? I don't want them then." And so I had to then take them back downstairs. And that's like the, yeah. Have you ever owned a customer? Yes, I have done it before. But I only did it at the I only did it the last few months that I was working because I just didn't care anymore if I got fired. But basically, do you know what? I'll tell you guys something. So if I had a customer that was giving me a rude attitude, like just basically just not being nice to me when I was trying to help them, the last few months that I was working, I would basically say this. I would say to them, sir, I'm trying to help you. If you continue being rude to me, I'm not going to help you and you're going to have to find somebody else. That's what I would typically say to them. And what happened was if they stopped, I would keep helping them. If they kept being rude, I'd walk away. I'd just say, I'm done. I'm not helping you anymore. Get somebody else. That's what I would say. I don't get paid enough for... I didn't say I don't get paid enough for this, but that's basically what's going through my mind. I don't get paid enough to, get yelled at. So basically I would say, get somebody else. I'm not helping you anymore. And when I do that, do you know how the customer reacts when you do that? I've done that to a few customers. And it's almost always the exact same reaction. The Karens, like the customers that yell at you, and when you say, that's it, I'm done, I'm not helping you, get somebody else, when you say that to them, you know how they react? It's almost always they're in shock. They're just blank stare. They don't say anything. They're like in total shock when you do that because they don't expect you to talk back at them. They just expect you to sit there and just take their mental abuse. That's pretty much what it is. And so when I just walk away, they're just in total shock. I don't care if you get the manager. I don't care. Go ahead, complain to my manager. I'm not going to be working here in a month anyways. So that's, so I'd say I don't get, I'm thinking to myself, I don't get paid enough for this. So it's like, go yell at somebody else. I'm not dealing with this. So that's pretty much it. Is, they're shocked and I'm not dealing with their nonsense. So that's what I'll say is, you get paid so much and, it's not worth it sometimes, the stuff that you have to do. So, yeah, you gotta know how to stand up for yourself a lot of times. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know what? I'll tell you something. One of my coworkers, I remember, he quit. And do you know what he ended up doing? He ended up getting like a job in what was it? No, it's not technically a job, but I mean technically it is a job, but it's not like a job where you go to a boss. It was he got a job with DoorDash, so he started doing DoorDash. This is like maybe the last year that I was working. And, or was it Uber Eats or DoorDash? I don't remember which one it was. Remember, he just delivered food. He just went to do that instead. And he was, he was much closer to me than some of the other coworkers. And he told me that he's quitting. He's had enough of this. And I've asked him what his main reason was for quitting. And he told me because when a customer is yelling at you, that the manager just expects you to sit there and take it. And they don't back you up. And he said that in that case, you just deliver food, and that's pretty much it. You're done. And what happened was my manager, he asked me why this guy quit. And I told him the exact same thing. I said because managers don't back up the employees a lot of times, and they're expected to sit there and take the abuse from the customer. And manager basically said to me, no, we don't expect you to sit there and take the abuse from the customer. Just call the manager when there's a problem or something like that. But the thing is, though, when we would call the manager when there was a rude customer, do you know what the manager would oftentimes do? Even if the customer was dead wrong, like even if the customer was 100% wrong, and they were just complaining about something stupid and being rude and nasty, whenever you do call up the manager always says, oh, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, sir or madam. I apologize for it. Let me give you 20% off. That's what they would typically do. That's not standing up for your worker. That's not it. That's sucking up to the customer, and that's basically telling the customer that, oh, if you're rude and nasty to people, you can get as many discounts as you want. That's basically what it's signifying to it. So that's it. So sometimes it's better to lose a customer than keep a rude customer. Like, do you want a customer that's like rude and nasty to your employees and is like draining your employees' mental health? Do you want that? Because that's all these companies think about is they just think about dollar symbols, but they don't think about the mental health of their workers. They don't think about, the workers. They see this one customer is like, oh, that guy, I don't want to deal with him. Like, they don't think about how their customers feel, and how their workers feel, dealing with like people like that. They don't. They never think about that. It's always what the customer wants, but never thinks about the feelings of the worker. Never that. Like, the workers are supposed to be robots. They're supposed to be machines. They're supposed to follow whatever the company tells them, no matter what. And that's, yeah. And my manager, I remember my manager said that guy is gonna be back. He never came back. So that's fought on Albert Einstein IQ 160. Well, Albert Einstein was a very smart man. Thank you, Gorgo, for the super chat. He did flee Germany when the Nazis came to power. It's good that he managed to get out when he did. Hi, Pro. Sorry I hadn't had the time to pop by. Been extremely busy. Would love to catch up one day by joining up. Hope you are having a great week. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, and feel free to join me whenever you want. What business have I earned the most money with? I'd say probably the MC business at this point. I used to be a manager. I tried my best to be good to the employees under me, but corporate always set ridiculous goals that punished us for not accomplishing. Yeah, and I understand you, Fernando. The last manager that I had was actually a decent guy, and he actually tried his best to do as much as he could for us, but it was his hands were tied. With just there was just so much that he could do because corporate was unreasonable. Yeah, but what I'll tell you guys is, you know how unreasonable corporate is? Basically, there was, when I was working in retail, I would do truck nights, you know, almost every other week. And the truck night was brutal. It was brutal. It was, you know, being there from like, what was it, like 10 p.m. until like 7, 8, or 9 a.m. unloading this huge heavy truck all night long. And even if it didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter whether it was 100 degrees outside or whether it was, you know, freezing. It didn't matter. So, you know, sometimes we were outside during storms. Sometimes we were outside during, you know, blizzards, you know, stuff like that. At least only one time did a truck ever get canceled during a snowstorm, I remember. But yeah, basically it was just that. It was just a, you know, not a good experience. And the thing about that is the store that we had didn't have a ramp. So we actually had to carry everything in through the front door, which really sucked. And so imagine carrying all that stuff all night long. And even when it's the dead of winter, you're going to be sweating because of how hot it is, because you're just constantly walking, you know, moving heavy stuff all around. And so what happened was I got tired of this, because what happened was there was a few workers that worked in retail, and these workers, they didn't have to work truck nights. They would refuse to work truck nights. And so for me, I didn't have that luxury. I couldn't just say I refuse to work truck nights. They would still put me on truck nights. And so these workers would never work on truck nights. And do you know what I thought was ridiculous? What I thought was completely unfair. Completely unfair is that they were getting paid the exact same wage as us. That's what I thought was completely unfair. Because while being a cashier is not an easy job, I wouldn't say it is. You know, comparing that to truck night, unloading that huge heavy truck all night long, and just, you know, versus being on the cash register for most of the day, I didn't think that it was fair that the cashiers were making the same amount of money as the people in the truck, and I thought people in the truck deserved to be paid more. If they're going to do all this manual labor all night long, and they're going to be there from like 10 p.m. to like, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then they're going to have their sleeping schedule messed up, then they should get paid a little bit more. And I told my boss, and I talked to a few of my other coworkers. I'm like, when you guys want time and a half for this? Everyone said, yeah. And I talked to my boss, and I said, you know, we'd like time and a half for, like, working on this, you know, truck all night long. We don't want to, you know, it's not fair that the cashiers get paid the exact same wage as us. And yet we're running around doing this truck all night long, having our sleeping schedules messed up. And I told the boss, you know, can you please talk to the district manager? Because he was going to a corporate meeting. I said, when you talk to the district manager, can you tell the district manager that we'd like time and a half for truck? And the thing about this is I knew nothing was going to come out of this. I knew nothing was going to happen. I knew the district manager wasn't going to agree, but I still made an attempt. I still at least tried to do something. And I knew the district manager was probably going to say no, and I told my manager, when a district manager says no, can you please ask her what the point is of working truck night if you get paid the exact same amount as a cashier? Why should anybody want to work truck night? And the manager, you know, came back to me a few days later, and he told me you didn't get the time and a half. Nobody got it. And I said to him, did you ask the district manager, you know, what's the point of working truck night if we're not getting time and a half? And he told me the district manager said the incentive is that you work more hours. That's the incentive. Oh, the incentive, yeah, it's that we work more hours. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely something that's, yeah, it's like people are excited. Yeah, I want to work truck. I want to bust my back all night long, unloading this huge heavy truck when it's freezing or hot outside. Yeah, I get more hours. Yeah, that's exactly totally it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's gonna make any employee really excited to do truck. Yeah, so that's Would you still be working there if you didn't find YouTube? No. I would probably be doing DoorDash or Uber Eats. That's what I would probably be doing. And eventually possibly would have had a career in law enforcement, which that's what I went to school for. So that's... I was once trucking in Portugal with a a car brake checked me 10 minutes later.
Okay.
He flipped his
It's a boat
car.
drop.
Oh,
Products loaded
thank
and
you,
waiting.
Gorgo, for the super chat. Why did he do that? Hi Pro, I'd like to ask if you have multiple plans for future character analysis like Dutch and Dimitri video. Well, I did Dimitri already. I might, oh, hang on a second. My capture card crashed one moment. I just have to restart this. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I did that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, sorry about that. I just, had a crash with the capture card. Okay. Okay. How often does that happen? It doesn't happen a lot. Have I heard Microsoft might acquire Netflix? No, I haven't heard about that. Didn't you have any tools to... We had, for the packages, we had, like, hand trucks, I think that's what they were called. But the thing about that is you had to load each box on it, which wasn't easy. Let's get over there. Okay, how far? 3 miles. Okay. Okay. Let's get over to the boat here. What MC businesses? The Statue of Liberty was originally given to the US by France. Where would I rank the Chinatown Wars story? It was decent. I think Chinatown Wars is probably a better story than GTA 3. But it was, I would say it was an okay story, I would say. Okay, go here, 1.30. I mean, GTA 3 did have a story. Favorite Chinatown Wars character except Huang? Probably Heston, I'd say. Yeah. But I'll tell you guys this here is Preston is spamming the chat. What? Thank you, Matt. Well, I'll tell you guys this. One of my coworkers, she was an older woman. She gave me a really good piece of advice about like just companies in general. And she said to me, my father would always say that if you pay somebody, you know, $7 an hour, you're gonna get $7 of work an hour. If you pay somebody $10 of work an hour, you're gonna get $10 worth of work an hour. You pay somebody $20 an hour, you're gonna get $20 worth of work an hour. And so basically what that means is it doesn't mean to be lazy, but it basically means that you get what you pay for, essentially. Is, like I said, these companies cannot expect to pay somebody, you know, a little bit over minimum wage and then expect 5-star service. It's not gonna happen. Okay, here we go. Hey Pro, love your content. You really helped me. I have MS and depression. I love the Chinatown gameplay. I love when you talk about history. Thank you, Vander. Thanks, man. Thank you for the super chat. I'm glad I was able to help you out, man. I'm doing well, Eric. Thank you again for sponsoring my channel. Nearly 3 years here. Pro, should the government increase the minimum wage? What I would say about that is my solution would be a compromise between basically both sides. What I think the government should do is I think the government should stop taxing people on their paychecks. So I don't think that you shouldn't be taxed like every hour on your paycheck. I don't think that should happen. But why don't they do it where they lower taxes just across the board, lower taxes, and then increase the minimum wage? Because you can lower taxes, and then that way businesses will have more money, and then you can increase the minimum wage at the same time. So lower taxes and then raise the minimum wage. I think that would be it, because raising the minimum wage without lowering taxes would actually have a very negative effect on certain businesses. Like the large corporations that I was ranting about earlier, you know, they probably wouldn't be that affected by it, but like the, you know, there's a lot of mom and pop shops where they would be very hurt by a raise in the minimum wage. Okay, Preston. I mean, don't worry about it. What are your thoughts about TikTok and the Congress situation? Just ban TikTok. It's, you know, I would say just ban it. It's a, I don't trust TikTok at all. And I think, I don't trust their ties to the Communist Party of China either. I'll play Days Gone one day. I played it before, but I could do another playthrough of it. if I lived in Red Dead, which state would I live in? I would probably live in the Great Plains of Blackwater. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be able. I wouldn't be able to stand the city of Saint Denis, and it would be probably too hot anyways. So I would. Yeah. I'd like to live probably Blackwater. China would never allow a U.S. version of TikTok in their country. Yeah, and that's the thing about that is, do you know what's what I found ridiculous? Basically, what was it, like about a year and a half ago, when there was that like battle between like the Indian and the Chinese soldiers in like the northern province of India, where like the Chinese army attacked the Indian soldiers. Right after that happened, India took decisive action right after it. They banned TikTok. They just got rid of it right away. And the outrageous thing about that is that when India banned TikTok, China actually claimed that India was censoring them. I'm not joking. Literally, I'm not joking. So India claimed that China claimed that India was censoring Chinese companies. That's what they were claiming. So that's the most ridiculous and the most nonsense statement that I've heard from the Chinese government before. Okay, let's get over this drop-off here. Vice City Stories lore video. I gotta get 100% before I do the lore video, because when you get 100%, you can rewatch all the cutscenes, and I'd like to, you know, that okay. Here. Your videos are unique. Thank you. Caliber, can you push my post-op van?
You know, it's insulting. Are you fucking kidding me?
Go. And the other three are going to be right next to each other, which is a good thing. Okay, there we go. The GTA 5 Strangers? Well, the only Stranger mission I have left really in GTA 5 is the HOW races. I mean, I didn't do the letter scraps, but maybe I could do that in a, the letter scrap mission. I could possibly do that in a, lore video, explaining what happened to Leonara Johnson. Hey, Pro, since you finished Chinatown Wars, Will you do a lore video, why Kenny killed his own brother and why the sword is important to the story? Thanks, Pro. Thank you, Luca. Well, I want to probably do a lore video, probably on Chinatown Wars right now, just showing where the, the locations in Chinatown Wars in GTA 4, and also because a lot of the characters in Chinatown Wars have police records on GTA 4's computer. I'm not gonna get into politics, WRV. I stay away from that. Okay, just deliver this here. Who do you say is more evil, Catalina or Tenpenny? Take Catalina, just more unstable. Okay, Melon. It's impressive being able to do that with a plane. I wouldn't be able to do that. Very easy way to get down from here. Take that route. Okay, last one. So I finished the post-op vent in about, what, 10 minutes? That's still a good time. Okay. Okay, there we go. I was gonna sleep, but your interesting commentary kept me awake. Seriously, thanks for everything you do, and everything you do. I wish I could show my true appreciation. Well, thank you, Matt. I do appreciate the super chat. And thank you, Tyler. Thank you, guys.
Cryptocurrency received, so I guess we have a sale. Transferring now. Long John over.
Okay. I'm not really going for 2 billion. I'm just helping people at this point. That's really what I'm doing. If only I had a PS5. Well, thank you, Dynasty Demon Ninja, for thank you for sponsoring my channel for over a year now. But GTA 6 will probably have crossplay. I don't see why it wouldn't. So if GTA 6 doesn't have crossplay, that would really be a mistake, I think, personally. Don't mind crossplay with, like, Xbox, but just don't want it with PC, personally, because of the, possible modders. But, or unless, I would probably be fine with crossplay with PC if the next GTA game has actual decent anti-cheat mechanics, then. Taken off. Here we go. Hey, Pro, there was a bug in single player where you couldn't take a chop for a walk while Franklin. Yes, I heard about that one. I don't really answer political questions. I'll tend to stay away from that. WRV, can you take, like, a plane and try to guide us? Because we'll be able to fly faster with flight formation. She could fly higher in this mission. Would you do a Yakuza walkthrough? Yes, one day I could, or I could pirate. I just don't know which one to start with, but I'll do it one day possibly. Oh, you're stuck in a black screen. Wait, how are you able to text though in that one? Here we go for the next one. Oh, you were stuck in a black screen. Okay. Maybe I could do the God of War games one day, but I've never really played those games though. I missed the bag missions in this game. You guys remember when the bag missions were in this game still? Why did Rockstar take that out? I'll probably do the spaceship parts one day too. Yakuza Kiwami, Yakuza 0, and Yakuza Kiwami 2 in order. Okay, let me screenshot your message here, and I will yeah, I'll think about that when I play them one day. I got again the cops here now too.
Hey, how can I help? Can't handle the heat, my friend? Okay, leave it with creepy Uncle Lester.
I'm watching pros lives from a terminal in Sanctuary Hills. Repetitive sale missions with no action. Is that so you have peace of mind to talk to chat? I mean, we're helping everyone make money. We're chilling here. We're having fun. Oh well, I just blew up. I don't know why. It's just, aircraft in this game. It's weird, but just helping out people just make money in this game. Is the first dose better than the last dose? I think they're both just equally weird. Start with Yakuza 0. Okay, we did pretty good. 8 minutes to complete the plane mission. That's not bad. What's the traffic? How much will it cost you to answer a political question? I don't really answer political questions. Even if people, like, you know, donate to me, I don't tend to. I appreciate the super chat, but I don't really answer them. No. It's just, politics is just a messy subject, and everyone has their own opinions, and it's just you know, it's what I might say. What I might say, half people might agree with me, half people might disagree with me, and it would just start a bunch of drama and just arguments. So that's why I tend to stay away from politics. It's a messy subject. It's like to play games here, chill, and just, you know, answer questions, and just that's yeah, that's why I personally think that, you know, video game channels should really stay away from politics, because it's just a messy subject. You avoid political questions, yet you discuss communism and the Chinese Communist Party. How do you clarify this? There's nothing political about criticizing an authoritarian ideology. I mean, it's just, communism is just, you know, an authoritarian ideology. There's nothing political about it. You could be on the left or you could be on the right, and you could say that communism is bad. There's nothing really political about that. I wouldn't say there's anything political about that. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like, you know, me saying that the Communist Party of China is, like, stupid for censoring, like, censoring everything in their country. It's not, I wouldn't say it's really political. That's being against censorship. That's standing up for free speech. I don't think standing up for free speech is political. So that's, thank you, FIFA Gamer. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, sorry. Pro, did you hear they adding the Oppressor? What do you mean? The Oppressor's already in the game. Not really. I'm not really much into many strategy games. At least these things have decent acceleration. You know, I'll tell you guys something. I remember when they were adding the Oppressor Mark II the first time. I remember when that happened. When people found it in the files. I remember that. And when it was found in the files, I remember I said that I think that's stupid. And I talked about it on streams back in like 2018. I said it's stupid, and I said it's gonna ruin the game. And what happened was people were like saying to me like, no, it's not gonna ruin the game, Professional. It's gonna help with grinding. It's not gonna be broken. It's not gonna be any of that. And I knew that it was gonna be a problem. You know how I knew early on? Because it had countermeasures. It had flares and it had chaff. And I knew it was going to be a problem at that point because the first Oppressor did not have chaff and flares. And so when I heard about that the first time, I knew it was going to be a problem. I didn't know about the missiles, how accurate the missiles were at the time, but I heard about the chaff and the flare, and I knew that it was going to break the game because of that alone. And people kept calling me a hater, and look at what happened. It turns out I was right on that. The Oppressor Mark II just completely broke the game and ruined everything. You gotta try getting out of the vehicle and getting back in, WRV. Sometimes that fixes the problem. You use the Mark 1 still, though, dude. No, I don't. I don't. I've stopped using the Mark 1. Find me the last time that I used the Mark 1. Find it. Because I tell you, the last time that I used the Oppressor Mark 1 was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. That was the last time. The only other time recently that I did use it is I used it for that MC contract. When you do that MC contract and you have to drive the Oppressor Mark 1, that was the only time because it's a contract that you have to drive the bike. But other than that, I don't use it at all in free mode. I haven't used any of these futuristic vehicles. You will never see me using an Oppressor Mark II. You won't see me using the Mark 1. I did use the Mark 1 a lot back in the day, that is true. But I don't use the Mark 1 anymore. So I don't use any of that. I don't use the Deluxo. I don't use the Mark II. I don't use the Mark 1. I don't use any of those futuristic vehicles. I stay away from that. I don't even use the jetpack really anymore. So that's so I just stay away from all of them. So that's I just found that the game's more enjoyable when I just use the standard vehicles in the game. When I just don't use the futuristic stuff, I just find it a lot more enjoyable. All your guides, did you delete those videos? No, they're still in they're still in my guides. You know, me using like the Oppressor Mark 1 and stuff like that. But that's like years before. I'm just saying I don't use them personally anymore. These futuristic vehicles. The Mark 1 isn't as annoying as the Mark II. The Mark 1, requires a lot more skill to use. And the Oppressor Mark 1 is actually faster than the Oppressor Mark II. I have so many people that are in denial about that. They say the Mark II is faster. No, it's not. The Mark 1 is faster. I did a video years ago testing it. It tested it in multiple tries. The Mark 1 is faster. So that's it. So if you have somebody that knows what they're doing on the Mark 1, they'll always get there faster than the Mark II. Ow. The Oppressor Mark II is the best friend for grinders, and the Oppressor Mark II is the best friend for griefers as well. So that's it's a double-edged sword. Most of the time when I get killed in GT Online, it's the Oppressor Mark II. That or the orbital cannon. There's very few other ways people kill me. What's your opinion on having a female protagonist in GTA 6? I'm fine with it. I don't really have any issue with it. I don't know what some people are complaining about that there's a female character. I think it's different, and I think it's like it'll give us a different perspective. So I think it'll make it more, unique. I think it'll make the game more cooler. How come you look so young, man? Well, I'm 28 years old. A lot of times people think that I'm, they think that I'm, younger, much younger than that. The thing about that is I got carded I got carded like, what was it, like a month ago? Because what's gonna happen is in the summertime, my mom is gonna visit me here. And so my mom asked her if I could buy her a specific bottle of wine. And I went to the store and I bought that wine. It's just sitting in my fridge right now. And what basically happened is when I went to the store to buy it, they actually asked me for ID. So that was, so I just showed them my ID. But that was, yeah. But the trick, basically, the thing I'll say about that, you know, I don't know if this really has an effect, but one thing that I know that, like, no, doesn't help, that makes you age slower, is I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. I don't, I'll only have really a glass of champagne, you know, at the end of the year, you know, on Christmas, you know, New Year's. Occasionally, maybe like once every few months, I have a glass of red wine, that's it. But I don't drink, like, any, you know, really any alcohol. I don't even touch beer. I don't smoke. Nothing. Cigarettes, marijuana, none of that. I don't do any of that. I don't even drink soda. So I don't drink Coca-Cola. I don't drink that. Last time I drank Coca-Cola was like 12 years ago. Or more. Possibly more, yeah. It's possibly more at this point. Yeah, no, it's probably more like 9 or 8 years ago, not 12. Yeah, more like 9 or 8 years ago was the last time I did it. So I don't drink any soda or any of that. And this has an effect. Like, you know, those drugs, like cigarettes, drinking, will make you age more. They will.
And that, I believe, is...
Juice? I'll drink juice. I'll drink orange juice, apple juice. And, let's see here. Oh, and to answer your question, also, Dr. Bat, when they make Lucia as a character, Lucia should be made as a character specifically for female gamers to like her. Because if they're making Lucia as, like, a character mostly for male gamers to like her, I think that that's kind of wrong, in a way. I think Lucia should be made as a character mostly for female gamers. Okay. Yeah, alcohol is not a good thing. What do you think of, you know what I find, do you know one thing that I find really creepy about, like, GT Online characters? You know what I find really creepy about it? Is whenever I see female GT Online characters, I can almost always tell when it's a male, playing, or it's a female playing. And I can tell just the way that the female characters dressed up, because the way that males, when they make their female characters, they do a bunch of weird things and a bunch of, like, you know, yeah, it's just you can pretty much tell. Okay, let's get over next business. Hotline Miami? I don't know that game.
doing?
Okay, let's get over the drop off. For people that are confused on what I mean that when a male gamer is playing as a female gamer in like a game like GTA Online, they will, I would say, what's the term, sexualize that character a lot. They will the clothing that they wear on that character, you can tell oftentimes when it's a guy playing as the a girl character or when it's a female playing as a female character. Female gamers don't do that typically to their characters, but that's just what I found weird about it. It's like a lot of guys that play as female characters in like GTA games and then just, you know, do that. That's what is, and that's my concern with Lucia personally, is that I think, like, I hope that Lucia is like a character that's specifically towards female gamers. Like, I hope that she's not a character that's meant towards male gamers.
Hello? What can I do for you? Can't handle the heat, my friend? Okay, leave it with creepy Uncle Lester.
Damn, these cops are so annoying sometimes.
Well, I'm not ruling out extraterrestrial beings.
The guy just smokes pot in the truck, and that's what gets really annoying about this. Okay, here we go. It gets annoying driving like this, but you get used to it.
Have you seen that documentary about the Cisco Guatemala?
Oh, come on, get over here.
Dude, it's fucking weird. It's like a landing strip in the desert.
No, I know that, WRV, but that's just what I was saying, is that, I think that, do you know what I'll say, though, is that even if, look, even though the majority of people that play, like, you know, GTA games are males, sure, I think that Lucia should still, like, she should still, like, be directed towards, like, female gamers. That's what I personally think. Because of the fact that if you look at, like, a lot of the GTA characters, like, some of them, like, for example, like, you know, look at Nico, for example, like, in GTA 4. Like, Nico is a character. Like, he's probably the rarest, you know, his nationality is probably the rarest nationality that I've seen in, like, a video game before as a playable character. Because the thing about it is that he, I'm really happy they didn't make Nico a Russian character. And the reason I'm happy for that is not that I have anything against Russian characters. There's plenty of games with Russian main characters. The thing about it is I was happy that they made Nico from Yugoslavia. They made him from Serbia, a country that you really don't hear that much about. So they made him from, like, a place in the world where you don't really see that many video game characters come from. And so that's what I thought was really unique about Nico, is he was from a country that you don't really see a lot of characters from. And so it was a completely different perspective. And so that's what I would personally, like, you know, that was just my main concern with, like, Lucia in, like, GTA, you know, 6, that they're gonna make her directed mainly towards, like, male gamers, which I think would be kind of weird. She should be a character directed mostly towards female gamers. So that's just my personal opinion on it. here.
We're having a full moon party in the desert. Interested?
Oh my god, this mission. Hi, for a long time no talk. Hope as well, Athena. Thank you, Athena.
No way.
Yes, well, it was Serbia that did the invasions of Bosnia. But Nico talks about that. He's like a broken man because of it, too.
Spiritual, bro. We had some real breakthroughs.
This mission sucks.
Fuck, man! Fucking move them!
Man, this... Oh, wonderful. Stupid mission. Okay, we got it out of there. Okay, that truck would have been destroyed either way.
He can't tell you about his visitation. Screw's busy. Don't tell him. We were on shrooms. They see spores of aliens.
Oh my god, these cops. This is what this, like, the guy at Rockstar that made this mission is an idiot, sorry to say. Like, you know, you had to give us this dumb mission where, like, you know, the character's high and it's annoying to drive the truck, but you also gotta give us constant cops in this mission. That's what's so annoying about this mission.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my god, no. I'm gonna get cops again. Oh my god, I'm gonna get annoyed here. I hope that gets rid of the cops. I better get rid of it. Because I don't want to deal with this right now. Okay, got rid of the cops, thankfully. Okay, didn't want to deal with that. My god, it was so annoying. Okay.
If you look at satellite shots of the desert, some rocks totally line up.
Let's do the heist after this now. Here we go. Let's do the heist. I was gonna do Melon's heist though. He wanted to do it last week.
That's a success.
Oh, hello, Murph.
Hey, I haven't seen you at the Epsilon.
Oh! Demons!
Yeah, I mean, if they made Lucia like Revy, I think that would be like the perfect, like, you know, character. Like, you know, that she would be like the female version of Trevor. So that's
Never stop being gorgeous! Right?
Okay, WRV. Vice City stories I'll probably do next. On the is Melon still here? Melon, are you still here? I'm just waiting for your heist invite. Just waiting for Melon's heist invite here. If I don't get it, I guess I'll just join another heist. Okay, if I don't get an invite from Melon, I guess in a few... Melon, can you at least text me on the phone? If I don't get an invite from him within a little bit, I'll do... Okay, WRV, we'll do your heist then. I'll give him like another minute or two here, but... Okay, there he is. He's ready. Ballad of Gay Tony was so much better than the Drug Wars DLC. Oh, I think Melon's heist is casino, but I could be wrong. We're just going to have to wait for his invite here. What are we waiting for, Melon? Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't join. It's full. No problem, WRV. Okay, ready. Let's do it then. Hello. Let's start it then. I'm not ignoring you. There's just a lot of people that are posting. Give me the smallest cut. Okay, all set. Staff lobby. Yes. Can you buy the, would you be able to buy the clean vehicle? Because if we want to get gold, I think I could, if I really rush it, I think we could get to the clean vehicle. What's up? Okay. If you want to get the challenge done, but it's up to you. You don't, you're spending too much money to get that much money back, but... Do you have power drills? Okay, let's do it then. Could you play Portal in the future? Maybe I could do that, son of a pirate. Okay, ready whenever.
Okay, they're expecting these chips today, so get over there in the group sex van. Unless you're total idiots, you'll walk in without any problems. Seeing you dressed up like that makes me feel all fuzzy.
Bro, you look tired? No, I'm
It's
fine.
like your kids putting on their uniforms for their first day at school. Only I don't have kids. Just some pretty basic AI experiments that swear at me in Russian and want to destroy the world. You know, we all love in our own ways. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Let's rob this thing.
What is the worst wasted potential characters from the GTA series? Johnny from GTA 4 and GTA 5, that was a massive wasted potential. Link from Chinatown Wars, that was also a massive wasted potential.
Okay, you're there. Drive in past the garage entrance and follow the road to the racetrack. The tunnel entrance is under the bridge.
Vic Vance was created later on. That's the thing about him, is he was, you know, he was a background character that died, and then he was created afterwards, in Vice City stories.
Who couldn't pass the fitness test or the psych eval.
Yeah, I didn't expect Link to die like that. Chinatown Wars, 100% I might not do until the future.
Yeah, we're gonna do this as stealthy as possible.
Still a black screen for everyone else.
Yeah, it's still loading for me. Yeah, that screen's all forever for this to load.
It took me 15 minutes just to get into your session after I got back from work. So,
My God, this is what they call expanded and enhanced. An expanded and enhanced black screen. Yeah. Expanding, yes.
What just happened? What the hell just happened? You gotta be kidding me. Stupid Rockstar servers. It's just... Yeah, I mean, I think Lucia's gonna be a very interesting character, and I'm happy that we get to see a female gangster's perspective. There's a lot of I'll say though, there's a lot of like I was just waiting for the invite again. There's a lot of really like I'd say dumb people out there that don't think that like women can be gangsters. There's plenty of like women that are powerful gangsters, and so we'll see I guess what Lucia's story is like in GTA 6. Job list here. I'm just waiting for the invite. Close friend session. No, we start our heist from friend sessions all the time. There's no problem. Just waiting for the invite then. I'll switch to all of the characters. It's just a habit. I just switch to Michael, just left and just like that, but it's... Yeah, this is expanded and enhanced. GTA expanded and enhanced like this, right? Yeah. There's the invite. Okay.
well, this is expanded and enhanced, bro. It said I got a network error right as soon as right to the loading screen.
Okay, let's just try it. We'll try it again. Let's just start it right away. There was actually you know what mafia family I'd like to see more of in like another GTA game? I'd like to see more of the Pavano family in maybe we'll see them in GTA 6. But the reason that I want to see the Pavano family more specifically is because the Pavano family in GTA 4, they only appear in like 2 missions in GTA 4. They're that mafia family betrays Pegorino. Remember when Pegorino goes to the industrial zone, tries to give them the gift, and they betray him? That's what I'll say about the the was it the Pavano family is actually a mafia family that actually has a female boss. And that is in the mafia that doesn't really tend to happen, but it has happened before, and they're actually based on a real family. There was a mafia family in Italy. Somebody probably knows the family that I'm talking about. Just forget the name, but they were actually controlled by a female boss who took over after the husband got killed or was in prison, I think it was. And so one of the reasons that the and this happens in real life too. When there are female bosses of like gangs, people don't realize that does happen in real life. But it's when that happens, sometimes that actually helps the gang a lot of times. And the reason that actually helps the gang is because it actually draws less suspicion to them. Because there's a lot of sexism that goes around, and so people don't think, when they think of like a big gang or a mafia, they typically think that a man is going to be in charge of that, and so they don't imagine a woman would actually be in charge of that. And so that's because of that, there's actually less suspicion on the gang, and that's specifically why that family actually had less suspicion on them, specifically because of that. Even the police are, sexist in this regard. They typically expect that it's gonna be a man that's gonna be running the organization. I mean, you look at what's her name, Valeria, in like in Modern Warfare 2. You look at that. Even the main characters were surprised by that. So. The thing about it is, I think, like, people want her to be as an operator in Modern Warfare, but that makes no sense. If Valeria is an operator in Modern Warfare, that makes no sense. She's the boss of the cartel, and in Warzone, you fight the cartel, Al-Qatala, and Shadow Company. So it makes no sense fighting her own people in the, she was hiding in plain sight, yeah.
This gonna check your VI number? Chip delivery, huh? Sure. Go straight through and leave her on the left. You can take the elevator or stairs down to the vault.
I thought you were gonna get shot in the face for a second there. Okay, now get in the elevator and remember, inconspicuous.
Okay.
Did you ever hear the one about the 4 Group 6 employees in an elevator? No?
Somebody hit the button. Get back in the elevator then. We gotta be quick. If we're gonna get elite, though, we have to be very quick on this. We can't make any mistakes on this.
Next security check's coming up. You can do this. You need to keep your cool. Don't be
Howdy. You looking for the vault? Right up ahead.
Y'all here for the vault, yeah?
Okay. Just do it, Rodriguez, right away when you're on it. Do it.
2-card system. Swipe at the same time.
Yes! Come on!
Can somebody lower their TV? Because I just hear on their mic in the background.
Keep going!
When that vault opens, I'm getting everything on the left side of the vault.
Okay, so far so bueno. Push on to the vault. There'll be a guard there to meet you. Don't.
If you're not good at the hacking, get the gold or diamonds, whatever it is, that's right in the middle of the room. Get the stuff that's in the middle of the room that's not locked. And
Oh, that's a heavy door. Ain't much getting through here. There.
Bingo! We have struck gold! Good news. Seeing as we stayed under the radar, we have a little more time here. Now, your hacker can block the security sensors while you're in the vault, but only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll flood the place with nerve agent? No? Okay, well, I'm mentioning it now.
is locked too, okay. Okay, got that. The reason that the casino might be carrying gold is because they bought the gold, not that they got the gold from like winnings or something like that. It was that they would take their cash that they got from, you know, whatever, you know, money people lost in gambling, and they would invest that into gold, and they would keep that because gold goes up in value a lot of times. So that's probably why they did it. Gold has gone up in value. It doesn't really gone down, so that's why a company would do that. No, there's no handheld drills. Okay, we're getting out then. Rodriguez, you go on the left, I'm going on the right. Okay. Okay. What getaway cars do you have? What getaway cars do you have? We're gonna try to get. I'm gonna try my best to get elite challenge on this, but we gotta really move. We have to.
We're still under the radar. Perfect.
Do it, Rodriguez. Which one?
People, that is the mother load. We cleaned them out.
Which getaway car do you have? Are they 2 doors? Well, I'm going immediately towards. I'm not going to the sewer. I'm just getting out of the city, and I'm going immediately towards that switch vehicle.
Y'all done in here?
Yeah, not suspicious at all. A bunch of people jumping with bags here.
How'd he look? We snuck a double straight black.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Doors open. Come on.
Now stay calm. Back the way you came through the checkpoint. Nothing to see here. Get in the cargo elevator and use your key card. Play it cool. Okay, I need you to stay calm. They've seen what you did to the vault, and now the whole place is locking down fast. They know you're still in the building. Just keep moving and keep quiet. They're closing in on us. We need to pick up.
You don't have disguises?
Security is sweeping the whole building. Stay one step ahead, or this whole thing goes
Okay.
south.
Okay, go now. Oh, these aren't suppressed, right? Oh.
Keep it busy. It's
I thought these would be suppressed. Okay, Melon, come on, you gotta go. You gotta. We're not gonna make the elite. No, I gotta have to fight a lot of outside here.
Getaway cars, go.
Okay.
Driver has them in position.
Oh, there's no point in getting the getaway cars. They're too far in. Where are you guys going? That way? I don't think it's a good idea going that way. Yes. Because I didn't take two bags of it. Zombie, can you please mark the switch vehicle for me on the map? Mark the switch vehicle on the map for me, please. This mark the switch vehicle. It's gonna be the two blue arrows going. Now the decoy's going? Okay, well, it's...
You have a clean car all lined up. Just don't let them see you switch.
Have to get out of their sight for just a moment here. Do not get in the clean vehicle unless you're out of sight.
Wow, we really kicked the hornet's nest. It's amazing how fast the police response time is when the guy calling 911 is a billionaire. Or should I say, ex-billionaire after his next insurance premium comes through.
Like, how do I still have the cops on me? I don't understand this right now. I'm out of sight. There's no helicopters here, and there's still... Oh my god. This is so stupid right now. Like, this is a glitch or something. This has been going on for some time where, like, how you're... Look at that. Look how stupid that was. I got out of sight for, like, a moment, and then it went back into sight again. This is stupid. This is stupid. No, because there's a helicopter right above you. You get out of that area. Get out of that area and get the helicopter away from you. A melon, get away from that area. Just get out of there. If you're out of sight, then just hold on. I'm gonna come back there and get into it. Oh, there's no point going for the clean vehicle. I already lost the cops on my own. They have to fix that in the casino heist. That glitch is so annoying. That seriously is. You're completely out of sight, and they're still...
You lost them. And listening to their channels, they are pissed. I'm not one to be premature. I'm not...
Take the train tracks. Get there faster than the GPS route.
Of pulling off the single greatest feat of organized criminality this city has ever seen. Admittedly, I'm knocking myself off the top spot. But that doesn't matter. We are seconds away from the history books, my friends. I wasn't sure I should come out of
Bellin, take the train tracks. Don't...
professionally, at least. It looks like a good call, yeah? Now, did someone say tequila?
Yes.
Almost there. Find the buyer, and this is a done deal.
You have to really floor it now. We still might be able to make it. Thank you. Okay, let's see if we made the challenge. So either we made it or it's gonna be really close. Oh, do not get detected? Oh, that's part of it, damn it. Then whatever. I didn't realize that was part of it for the big con there. Damn. Oh, that sucks. I never take the helicopter, I always take a car. I gotta do this because I'm gonna get a copyright claim if I don't do that. Yep. I still get a copyright claim for that, so I gotta... I don't know what that is, Michael. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I guess we'll be wrapping it up here, guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll still stick around and answer any questions people might have before I go. If you guys want to ask me anything before I go, I'll still answer them. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like if you guys enjoyed the stream. It does help me out. Donald Percival can be... there is a chance he might be in the next GTA game. Yeah, there's definitely a chance of that. I'll play Jedi Survivor when that comes out. I just hope I don't get a copyright claim again. I don't know, it's just... he just sits in his car a lot of times there. 100% Chinatown Wars? Possibly. Oh, I always cut my own hair. Vice City Stories 100%. We'll probably do a stream of that next, like, in May, because I'm visiting family next week in New York. So I'm gonna be in New York for a month. I'll still have the videos out, but Vice City Stories I have here, so yeah, I'd have to get the emulator for that set up specifically in New York. So I'll just have it back in May to stream of that one. Hey, bro, great stream. Please check your PS DM. Thank you, Fernando. Okay, I'll look at it later, Ian. What are you talking about, Wolfgang? Okay, let's see here. See here, I still gotta do a stream on those, the episodes for Liberty City when I get the chance. Wait, you talk about Cyberpunk, Wolfgang? I'm confused. The strangers are really creepy in Chinatown Wars. They're probably the creepiest strangers I've seen in a GTA game. I'm not dissing Cyberpunk really anymore. They're, you know, I never really got the chance to play it, but it was a disaster at launch, but at least the developer is taking care of it now. Yes, I'll do Kane and Lynch too. And I will still be 100%ing Saints Row 2. I just don't know when I'll get around to that. But I guess we'll be wrapping it up here, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed my stream. I'll have another part of Kane and Lynch up tonight. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.